And today I'm going to be talking about actually, I wanted to have like kind of just like a conversation going on, and I'd love for you guys to get interactive with me. Hi, everyone, as you're joining. Today I'm going to talk about, I don't want to talk at you. I want us to have a conversation, right? And hi, Lana. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Leonardo. Hi, everyone. So happy you're here. Love you guys. I wanted to have a conversation today about clarity, right? So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm not going to bore you with like the details. I've been in business for 38 years. I started out in the brick and mortar world. I went to the online world, became a consultant, and now private advisor. And I own 3 businesses still. I still have a brick and mortar practice and 2 online practices. I have a private advisory business, and I also own an online education academy. What I help people with is the clarity. What happens is this: we build businesses, right? Everyone's building a business. Most of the people that follow me are entrepreneurs, they're founders, they're CEOs. So we put our heart and soul into this business. It becomes our identity. And then we come at different crossroads. Something changes in your life. You change, you evolve, you grow, family stuff. Lots of things change. I know my own journey in my life. I started my first business at 19, right? I was a baby. And I do advocate for entrepreneurship. If you're young, um, go for it, right? It's just that we change and we evolve and grow. And as our businesses change, evolve, and grow, I'd love some love from you guys. I'm trying to get the gist of Substack. I'll tell you a whole little story about this. So help me out here to get the algorithm rolling. I don't know if that's even a thing on here. So, we change so much and we grow. I know myself from my first business at 19, I started out as a hairstylist, right? I still do own a hair salon. I don't hide that. I'm very transparent about that. I've owned 11 different businesses in different sectors. And what I realized is that there's always periods in your life where there's reinvention, refinement, and then getting ready for the exit. Now, for some of you that are newer in business, you're like, what the hell is she talking about, an exit? But the most successful people in the world, your business is not only a soul calling, your business is something that you want to leave a legacy, right? So I talk about all of these different parts that are like the next steps in your business. So just a little quick story here I wanted to share with you guys is that being in business is a gift, right? Being an entrepreneur is a gift. We get to take our soul, our passion, something we're really good at, and help other people. Like we basically sell solutions to something. If you're a life coach, you're selling solutions to someone's personal stuff. If you are a writer, you're selling solutions to someone who needs your copywriting. If you're a doctor, you're selling solutions to someone's help. I mean, it can go on and on and on. And what I find to be the most rewarding part of this is that we are driving the bus. But where most of us get caught, especially when you're in it as long as me. I work with founders, CEOs, and leaders who they've established themselves. They're making great money. They're making 7 figures, some of them 8 figures. It's not about the money anymore. Now it's about them saying, who the hell am I? What am I doing? Am I just my business? This happened to me with my first business. My first business was a salon, a hair salon, and I was a hairstylist. And as I grew and evolved and then went into the online world and really realized I had so much to give in business acumen and intuition, I struggled with the identity of being a hairstylist. Now, I talk about this a lot. I mean, I've been on stages with hundreds of people. One of the last talks I was at, people like are hysterical and they're clapping and they're like, holy shit, this lady was a hairstylist. Like, because I now share everything about myself, because at a certain time in my life, I just thought my first business was my whole identity and I couldn't be anyone else. So this whole conversation today, and I want you guys to stay till the end because it's really deep, is about clarity. And when is clarity important? How do we get clarity? And why should we be stepping into different seasons of reinvention, refinement, and maybe exiting if that's where you're at? Now, there's three different sections to this, and clarity at each stage is super important. But what kills our clarity, and this is from working with thousands of people, guys, from all different walks of life, in all different kinds of businesses, um, in the United States and in Italy. I am bilingual, si parlo italiano, and I do have clients in Italy. So it's like I have two different audiences. So I really see a global take on business and life and really what is being in business and being like a happy entrepreneur, right? Everyone says to me, Marie, like I made my money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I still feel like something's off. And that is because they're not being honest with themselves. They're not tapping into their soul and they're not saying what needs to change here. Or they know what needs to change. That's when they call me in as their thinking partner because I just get shit done with them, right? We get clarity. We take those next steps. It might be simplifying their business, right? A lot of us overcomplicate things. I did a workshop, not a workshop, what the hell am I talking about? I did a private advisory call this morning. Let me just show you. I'm with one of my clients, and she wasn't even a call. She was here live. I'm in my office in New Jersey, and I do see people live. She came in and she was like, Maria, I'm just feeling overwhelmed. She was struggling with getting her team to do outreach. She's a local business owner who sells very, very high ticket services. Okay. So I said to her, here's what we're going to do, Jilly. Her name's Jillian. I go, one of the things I do, and I share this, I've been doing this for over 30 years. It's an example. I have little postcards. They're not even postcards, they're note cards. Aren't they cute? They have my logo, they have a good picture of me on there. And inside is my QR code, right? I personally, my team does the legwork. They will do the outreach. They will get the list together for me. They will put together potential clients in my area. Then I have another list of my regular clients. I write these suckers out myself. I make notes, okay? I actually handwrite notes to people. And the ROI on handwritten notes, folks, you can make fun of me all you want, is incredible. Why am I sharing this with you? Because sometimes that could be part of a reinvention. Reinventing how you're doing outreach, reinventing how you're running your business. Stop banging your head against the wall. I had another client in advisory last week. She was beside herself that her ads were not working. Now, marketing and ads, that's not my expertise, but strategic advisory is. So I said to her, hey, why don't we look at the data and why don't we reevaluate how you're doing things? We changed her business model, simplified what she was doing, because you can't keep doing the same things in business and expect the same results. You have to tweak, iterate, refine, reinvent. And then, of course, last but not least is exit. We'll talk about that on another live. I'll do a whole series on exiting, what that looks like, prepping for exiting. I want to hear from you guys. Comment if you guys are watching. I see there's 5 people watching. Yeah. All right. I love this. Give me some feedback on this. What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to hear about? Where are you feeling like you could use some clarity? So some of the easiest ways to get clarity is, number 1, take some time off. Okay? I don't want to hear you're too busy. That's a red flag. If you're a business owner, CEO, senior leader, founder, and you tell me you are too busy to have one day to yourself a week where you just think, relax, drop into your soul, and you're too busy to take a vacation, that's a red flag, guys. That means that your systems are not in place. That means that your business is a prison. It is not really a business. And please don't come for me. I'm doing this a long time. And like I said, I've screwed up. I've failed. I've gotten bankrupt. I've rebuilt myself. I've hit multiple 7 figures. I'm speaking from experience. And this is no shade on anyone because I've been face down in the mud and rebuilt myself. So getting clarity, number 1, means taking time for yourself, taking time to think, to feel. No phone, no messaging. Again, in private advisory, we do a lot of different things, and we change up people's schedules. We change up how their weeks are organized, because if you don't have time blocking and management, you can't be with yourself. So that's number one in getting clarity. Number two in getting clarity is simplify. Once you have time, quiet time, I want you to really check in with yourself, because we all know what's right for us. The most successful leaders I work with, the most successful financially and personally successful people that come and work with me inside of private advisory, they're just getting in their own way. They already know what the answer is. Then they hire me as their thinking partner, as to help them make that decision. I have a gift of seeing what they can't see for themselves. So we get clarity by honoring our soul, taking some time off. I challenge every single one of you watching today, change your calendar. I did this exercise with my clients inside private advisory. I happen to have a paper planner, okay? I do have digital, but I love my paper. We reevaluate once a month their schedule, their goals. Guess what? What I thought I wanted in January has changed. Life changed, things tweaked, things in my children's life changed. My mother fell and broke her hip. I had to go to Italy back and forth 4 times. I had some team members leave. I had to rehire new people, interview. Things didn't stay the same. And then suddenly, while I was in this transition, because life happens, guys, just because you're an entrepreneur, a senior leader, a founder, you're successful, shit happens anyway, because that's life. I started to think, when I was doing my own calendar check-in, this thing doesn't feel good anymore. This other thing, I could see I want to double down on that, because I see that's going well, and actually that feels good. I told you, 3 businesses, 3 separate companies, and a real estate investment firm that's separate. It's a different type of business. I live between Italy and the United States, right? I have grown children. I have an aging mom, right? I have team members in 3 companies. Someone else, that's a lot, but I keep it simple. So I teach simplicity. So going back to clarity, it's about finding some downtime for yourself. Like, if you cannot put a day a week in your calendar that belongs to you, you need to reevaluate what you're doing. That's not success, my friends. That's a prison, right? And I know so many people now, because the internet and everything that's going on in the world, like, we're sold this crazy ass, I don't know, dream. It's not even a dream. This propaganda that busy, automated craziness is success. But I can promise you, simplicity, clarity, being really focused on what your soul's telling you to do and what's aligned with your life in each season, because there's different seasons, different reasons, just like relationships, right? How many relationships come into your life for a season or a reason? So being clear comes down to time with yourself, reevaluating your calendar, being nice to yourself, and listening to your intuition. If you can't focus on these 4 things, again, I'm going to challenge you this week. Just like I support, this is like behind the scenes what goes on in private advisory. And if you haven't subscribed to my paid VIP tier, listen, it's cheap. It is such high value, and you get access to operating at your level, which is my really cool audio. I have an audio feed. What does that mean? I do like an audio series where I really brain dump and I share what's going on behind the scenes, as if you were in a room with me in private advisory. This is work that's nowhere else. It is paid. If you subscribe separately on Substack or on Substack, it is a very high level community and you will love it. I personally love audio feeds. I love podcasts. That's why I created this operating at your level. If you subscribe, you get access to it. So upgrade today. Honestly, it's like a few bucks a month, and it is worth thousands and thousands of dollars for behind the scenes support and that connection, right? Like, I want to be connected to you and I want you to get value out of what I'm sharing. So I hope today was helpful, guys. I'd love some feedback from you guys. I don't know if this is delayed. I don't know. I'm trying to learn Substack and I'm going to be on here a lot more because I really love this platform and I love you guys. Um, Again, I'm not teaching how to use Substack, but I will tell you a little secret this week. I saw lots of traffic coming from my website to my Substack that converted to 2 high ticket sales. Again, I don't teach Substack. That's not what I'm teaching. But I do like to share when I find something that works. I think it's kind of cool. So I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. I want you to reevaluate your calendars, get your calendars out, reevaluate what you're doing with your time. I want you to really focus on listening to your intuition. I want you to give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up if you're not doing any of the above. Thanks for the love and the hearts. And I'm here for you guys. I am real. I am human. I am not AI generated. I do have a filter on so I look a little less wrinkled, but you know what? Transparency, folks. Let's face it. No one wants to friggin' get old. I don't. Anyway, sending you guys lots of love and light. I will talk to you soon. If you send me some topics, I am thrilled to talk about whatever it is that you would love me to talk about that has to do with high level business, decision making, mindset, making higher level choices, your reinvention, your refinement, or your exits. And remember, guys, we all need to think about this because nothing is a one size fits all. That's how you get longevity, wealth, and create really a life that makes sense and a real freedom based business. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate every single one of you.